Chapter 54.
Priscilla leaves Germany and goes to Graceland.
Elvis! Elvis!
Priscilla, you're here.
This is the young Elvis. The Elvis that drove women crazy and generated a grudging respect amongst young men. This was the Elvis that single-handedly, with the Colonel's help, bulldozed the landscape of popular culture and erected a structure that vibrated. This was the Elvis that could someday redefine time as B, E, and A-E, before Elvis and after Elvis. This Elvis that later may possibly have taught Jesus everything he knew about pedagogy. This is the Elvis that went to Europe, that did his time. This is the Elvis that Italian photographers captured with whores' tongues down his throat. This is the Elvis that took as his due the salutations of the war-shattered and poorly nourished women of Europe. This is the Elvis that 14-year-old Priscilla met and loved. This is the Elvis that loved 14-year-old girls. In some ways, he never grew up. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Dead Presleys.
Chapter 55.
Priscilla is only 15. She goes to school in Memphis. That's Priscilla. Elvis loves her. He's going to marry her.
Chapter 55, wherein Priscilla grows up a little and Elvis marries her. Where Priscilla learns to play with dolls, even as she becomes less like one herself. Wherein Elvis dolls take over the marketplace. And little girls learn that to play with sideburns is the way to go. Wherein Elvis learns that even as Priscilla grows up, there are other 14-year-olds out there he can play with. Wherein we learn that hunka burning love was not a metaphor. Wherein Elvis does good by his mama and marries his childhood sweetheart, or at least a sweet child. So they say.
Chapter 56.
On May 1st, 1967, Elvis and Priscilla get married.
Are you happy, Elvis?
Of course I'm happy. I love you.
Chapter 56. Elvis and Priscilla get married. Oh yeah, hubba hubba, baby. They do it once, and Priscilla gets pregnant with Lisa Marie. All of a sudden, Elvis isn't married to a little baby doll anymore. All of a sudden, Elvis is living with a woman when he married a child. Elvis is not happy. Rumor has it, they only had sex once. Rumor has it that Priscilla and Elvis used to get naked and sleep together before they were married, without having sex. Whatever he thought he was getting grew up, but did not move out. Rumor has it, Priscilla was not a virgin. Elvis lets the Colonel turn him into a workaholic. It's a relief to be on the road, away from that woman at home, and the center of attention of all those screaming girls. Time moves on.
Chapter 57.
In 1968, Elvis is on television again. He's the great. He's the king. He's the king of rock and roll.
Chapter 57, wherein Elvis discovers there is no need to have taste in show business, and that if everyone agrees with you, it is easy to have your own way, and that guns are good, guns are fun, guns are great recreation, wherein the Colonel discovers the power of prescription drugs, where payola becomes a way of life, wherein the bright lights of Vegas beckon, wherein the cheeseburger becomes the bright light at the center of Elvis' universe. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the future. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the slippery slope. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Chapter 58.
Elvis and Priscilla have a daughter. Lisa Marie is very pretty.
never here to see her. You're always in Hollywood or Vegas.
Chapter 58. Priscilla Presley, Elvis and Me. Elaine Dundee, Elvis and Gladys. Gary Panter, Invasion of the Elvis Zombies. Lee Cotton, All Shook Up, Elvis, Day by Day, 1954 to 77. Albert Goldman, Elvis. Lee Cotton, Howard A. DeWitt, Jailhouse Rock, the bootleg records of Elvis Presley, 1970 to 1983. Thomas Carboy, Rock and Roll Disciples. Ed McClanahan, Famous People I Have Known. Nick Cave, The Firstborn is Dead. Michael Ventura, Shadow Dancing in the USA. Mad Dog Graphics, Elvis, Undercover. Lucida Barban and Dari Matera, Are You Lonesome Tonight? The Untold Story of Elvis Presley's One True Love and the Child He Never Knew. Greil Marcus, Dead Elvis. Colin B. Morton and Chuck Death, Great Pop Things. Peter Guralnick, Lost Highway. Diego Cortez, Private Elvis. Steve Dunleavy, Elvis What Happened. Jan and Michael Stern, Elvis World. Joni Maybe, Love Letter to Elvis. Guy Pielert, Rock Dreams. Mackenzie Work, Elvis, Listen to the Loss. Mekons, Memphis Egypt. Talking Heads, Cities. Michael Barton, Tommy Sands versus Belafonte and Elvis. Albert Goldman, Elvis, What Happened? Edward S. Leake, The Great Performances.
Chapter 59.
Priscilla is not happy.
Elvis, I'm leaving you. You're never here. This is goodbye.
No! Priscilla! No! No!
Chapter 59. Elvis is a figure whose musical significance shrinks with each passing season. As a musical artist, he doesn't exist. He does not begin to exist. James Wolcott. Think of Elvis Presley. In the end, this is the only way we can explain his appeal. Not in terms of what he stood for, socially or personally, but by reference to the grain of his voice. Simon Firth. He wasn't like anyone. You start trying to compare Elvis to something, and you can forget it. All you can do with a talent that big and that different is sort of point at it when you see it going by and listen for the ricochet. William Price Fox. The fascination was the reality showing through the illusion of wealth and the psyche of poverty, the illusion of success and the pinch of ridicule, the illusion of invincibility and the tragedy of frailty, the illusion of complete control and the reality of inner chaos. Elvis had all the freedom the world can offer and could escape nothing. Linda Ray Pratt. Elvis was always aware that he had to recognize himself as a recognition on the part of others. It's not like Elvis produced any of it. He's not the author of Elvis. He is eccentric to his Elvis-hood. Duncan Smith. If I could find a white man who had the Negro sound and the Negro feel, I could make $1 billion. Sam Phillips.
Chapter 60.
Elvis is in Graceland, but it isn't a happy home now. Priscilla's not there, and its mother's dead.
Doc, you gotta help me. I can't sing.
Okay, Elvis, take these.
Chapter 60. Last night, while I was dreaming, I heard somebody scream, and there was Elvis, baby, looking hungry and mean. He said, well, I'm so hungry, baby. Yeah, I'm so hungry, baby. I feel so hungry, baby. I could die. Well, I fixed him up a breakfast of poached eggs and ham, a toasted English muffin covered with strawberry jam. But he just looked at me, and then he cried. I've been so hungry since I died. So I went into the kitchen and left the cupboards bare, fixed him up with the breakfast that was beyond compare. Well, French toast and omelets, baby, green beans and ham hocks, baby. He ate so much, I thought he'd die. Well, buttered baked potatoes, I fried him up hash browns. I made him little pork sausages that were freshly ground. Hot gravy biscuits, cheese dip on Triscuits. He said, I've had enough. That was by P. Wood from 1984.
Chapter 61.
Elvis sits in Graceland. He eats, he drinks, He's 40 and he's fat.
Elvis sits in Graceland. Oh, Elvis sits in Graceland. Elvis sits in Graceland. He eats, he drinks. He's 40 years old and he's fat.
Chapter 61. Elvis has left the building.
Elvis cannot be compared to anyone.
Elvis is dead on the crapper.
There are more Elvis impersonators in Las Vegas than preachers.
Elvis never did an illegal drug in his life.
Elvis is bigger than Christ.
Elvis wanted to be a special agent of the DEA.
Elvis heals.
Elvis loved playing with guns.
Elvis saved my baby.
Elvis loved little girls.
Elvis was controlled by Liberace.
Elvis loved to see dark pubic hair curling around the edges of white panties.
Elvis was a space alien.
Elvis loved to watch little girls play.
Elvis was a plot by the CIA to control troubled youth.
Elvis loved his mama.
Elvis never existed.
Elvis had bad taste.
Elvis landed on the moon.
Elvis was a hillbilly sharecropper.
Elvis lived on cheeseburgers from Fannie Wee Jenkins.
Elvis' mama had an affair, and Elvis' papa was black.
Elvis invented the cheeseburger.
Rumors of Elvis are unfounded.
Elvis faked his own death.
Rumors of Elvis are well-founded.
Elvis had secret sex surgery and now goes by the name of Gladys.
Elvis broke his leg in 1992, but he walks okay now.
Elvis doesn't like hippies.
Elvis had an affair with Rock Hudson.
Elvis loved his mama.
Elvis used to drool.
Elvis loved his mama.
Elvis died of natural causes.
Elvis loved his mama.
Drugs.